Hi, folks, and welcome to my Shell Busey AskShell.com copy
Copy
break.
break.
Yes, today we're going to deal with one of those items that, really causes concerns during the summer as well as in the winter. And one being that unused fireplace, or you may have a very inefficient natural gas sand pan unit, meaning that the ceramic log is in a like a pan of sand, and in the winter months when you use it, all the heat goes up the chimney. We'll relate to that as being a very, well, economically speaking, not very money saving when it comes to natural gas fireplace log systems. If you are going to go to something more efficient, then go to an insert, like a Valor, that type of fireplace insert. But let's deal with two items. The unused chimney, even though it may have the sandpan unit in it, or a fireplace that's never had anything put into it other than an empty cavity. Or the other item being down in the basement of the older homes, you may have that hole at the bottom of the chimney where the old oil furnace or the old wood furnace used to vent the natural gases. That's the natural wood gases or coal gases or oil gases up the chimney flue. Okay, so the hole in the bottom of the chimney, one. Two being the unused fireplace. Okay, and also at the end of the my segment here, the coffee break, we're going to deal with a video that I'm going to play for you, and that is going to deal with a product called the Draught Stopper, which I'll mention during this information video. Okay, so the segment, let's call it the blocking off of the unused chimney or fireplace. Okay, it is just that easy. So here we go. Down in the basement, first of all, if you have that in an older home, could be a 50, 60, 70-year-old home, that has a hole in the bottom of the chimney where once there was a stovepipe venting the gases to the outside through the chimney. Now, what you do is very simple. Depending if you're not going to use it anymore or even potentially use it anymore. So I'm going to relate to the fact that you may decide one day, because of any fears of losing power for any length of time, you may want to, if you do drywall or panel the basement, mark it in such a way that you'll be able to cut the hole and still use the chimney. If that being the case, then very simply take a bag, a plastic garbage bag, put insulation in it, not anything but insulation like a fiberglass or a rock wool insulation into the bag, tie it nice and tight, and then reverse it again and tie it again. So you're double bagging it, so to speak, and then cut the excess off. Now you got a ball with the bag formed with the insulation bat inside. And then very simply stuff it in the hole. That way it seals with the plastic. You want to use the heavy contractor bag to use this, not the light, inexpensive garbage bags. And shove it in the hole and very simply leave it at that. It's nothing more required because that will stop air being exhausted out through a hole, which nothing gets in. It stops any roof rats from getting into the house. It stops any birds from getting into the house, any squirrels from getting into the house, those sort of things. So you want to make certain that it's in there nice and tight. Okay, it's just that easy. Now, I want to state one thing here. Caution. If the chimney is being used anywhere else in the home, upstairs, second floor, third floor, or whatever, if there's any flue gases being exhausted out that chimney that you're blocking at the bottom, then do not proceed with this process of blocking it off the bottom. That is only for blocking off an unused chimney, period. Okay? Now, if you do happen to drywall or panel over top of it, you can always mark it, and mark it with a compass showing exactly where the hole is. But I think once it's blocked off, it'll likely be unused from that point on. We'll get into a little later on here as to what to do if you want to take the chimney down as well. Okay, now the fireplace. The fireplace, if you're not using it at all, some homeowners haven't done a thing with it other than this. They have the glass and the screen in the front of it for cosmetic look. But if you do have a fire log in it and you don't use it, or if it is just a wood log set sitting there for, again, cosmetic appearance, and it has the round chimney at the top on the inside, or if it has the damper, which is elongated, could be anywhere from 4 inches to 10 and 12 inches wide. But in any event, how you block that particular area off if you're not using it, and incidentally, this is very energy efficient and very power smart, because you stop that air from flowing out. When your furnace comes on, you get that positive air out of your registers, blowing air into that fireplace opening, and right up the flue it'll go, so you lose the energy, and also you could get some odors, and you could get, again, birds or some rodents getting in from up top. So very simply, consider using a Draught Stopper. It's called Draught Stopper. And at the end of this program, we're going to show you a video of how that goes into your fireplace to stop the drafts and be energy efficient. Now, last but not least, if you want to have a new roof installed, for example, and having the new roof installed, you want to get rid of the chimney because the chimney is not going to be used anymore. You may have an insert installed like a Valor that would direct vent out the back. That way you don't need the chimney at the top. That can be torn down. There are services available through our HouseSmart Home Services referral to do that. And if you are inclined yourself or family member, then you tear it down from the top down through into the attic cavity, terminate it there by very simply filling it with a cap, could be a sidewalk slab, that sort of thing, which are available at your building supply store. Okay, it's just that easy, folks, so stay tuned for the video. It's all about.
Fireplaces can be a very expensive feature wall in the home. What do I mean by an expensive feature wall? Well, they chimney warm air right out of the home, especially in a home that's forced air heated like a furnace system, because the air coming out of those registers are blowing positive air, and air will take that least line of resistance and right up the tube it goes. A lot of people never use their fireplace during the winter months, possibly at the festive season, but that's all. Well, what would you do? Well, I'm going to suggest what I would do. I would put a fireplace draft stopper right inside that firebox, stopping that air from moving on up and saving that energy for inside the home, therefore being very energy efficient. Let me show you one. This is a draft stopper. This is what you get in the package. A vinyl inflatable bag, complete with a T that forms itself in a little T, put it together. And there's a storage bag. In the event if you take it out and put it away in the storage, you can store it without getting dirt or dust all over the closet where you store it. Now, I've also taken another one and inflated it partially. Now, the reason why I did that, because that's what you should do before you install it into the firebox. Now, you'll see here that there's actual compartments here in the draft stopper, one of which I've sliced. And the reason why I sliced that, because it won't allow any air to come out, but that's for the draft to handle to go through. That's your damper control inside the firebox. Now, some people will say, Shell, I got a damper in my firebox. Why do I need another one to stop the air from migrating on up the chimney? Well, the reason for that, those dampers don't fit tight at all. In fact, they're very loose. Take a look one day up there. In fact, in a lot of cases, they're even warped, and you can see anywhere up to a ½ an inch of airspace around them. So this is what this is going to do. It's going to stop that airflow right on up the chimney. So let's install it. Now you can see I've partially inflated the unit, about 1/3 of its full capacity. Now the draft control arm here, I'll put it through the cut in the prepared area of the draft stopper and force it up around the nail that the draft handle sits on. Now once you got it up in the top, making sure that the draft control is free, now take the T and put about the center point and set it up into the center of the firebox. Now I'm ready for full inflation. I'll remove the air stoppage clip, blow it up to its full capacity. You can hear it actually tightening in against the brick on the inside of the firebox. Put the hold down clip back into place and slide it, locking the air off. Pull down the flag, and all I have to do now is twist tie it around the T. The T will remain in place while the draught stopper is in the firebox. Warning anybody that might want to put a fire that the draught stopper is in place. And as I indicated, if you were planning on taking it out and in or during the festive season, simple matter, just reverse that process and wipe it off and put it in the storage bag and put it away in the closet until next time you want to use it.